Sometimes people have a brilliant idea and it turns into $1 million company or a multi-million dollar company or even $1 billion company, a unicorn some people call them. And then sometimes people have an idea that could be cool, but somehow it turns into a fiery failure. Today's video, we're going to look at something that was more of the latter. An unfortunate failure, the tragic story of Collectable. But first, here's your intro. So Collectable is something, I made a video about it probably a couple years ago, near the very beginning of this YouTube channel's life, and was just kind of reviewing it. The concept, basically, is that Collectable owned all these high-end cards, and they were trying to make investing in uber high-end cards possible for people like you and I, assuming you're not a multi-millionaire, and if you are, email me, jesse@cardlines.com. Let's do something cool together. But basically, they'd buy a $100,000 card, they'd break it into 10,000 shares at $100 a share, and you could buy a share of the card. Right? It's kind of a cool concept. It's no different than, well, it's a little bit different, but it's kind of like if I were to go buy a share of Meta stock, and then as the market cap and the value of Meta increases, then I make more money based on owning a very small percentage of said company. With Collectable, though, it didn't actually work, and let's take a look at why. So at the beginning, anybody could invest. I don't think there was this whole verification process. Now you can fill out this verification form. I was just kind of poking around with it. And it looks like you have to be an accredited investor with SEC standards to be able to invest. But you ironically can't invest anything because all the assets have been frozen because the company is belly up. It says halted right here, exited. All their assets are frozen. They're still privately held, so you can't get a huge feel for the financial health of the company. I don't think they ever filed bankruptcy from what I could tell. It's just a very light internet search. But we are going to look at some pretty crazy stuff. So if I go to Discover, it breaks down all their different collections, most popular, Babe Ruth cards, Collectable 25, the GOATs. So you can break it down. So we're just going to go to most popular first, 10 different cards. You can see here, most of them are they're all halted. I thought a couple of them had exited. So check this out. On the far right, my head's in the way a little bit. The percentage, everything is down. And then this Michael Jordan card actually went up 33%. So this card went down 10%. This card, this dual Magic Johnson Larry Exquisite Logo Man, very cool card. They lost 80% on it. So these people that bought just got absolutely slaughtered on these cards. Let's look at, there's some shoes. They did all kinds of stuff. They did jerseys, 80 down 77. Some of these never actually traded, I guess. Looks like it just got sold immediately before it got listed. Ultra modern stuff got hit even worse. We could see Michael Porter Jr. down 95%, Trae Young down 96%, Luka game-worn rookie jersey down 80%. Andre the Giant game-used jockstrap, that went down 94.4% somehow. Don't know how that wasn't super desirable. I found another positive card. Look, this Wayne Gretzky, it gained 20%. Shout out Wayne. So it looks like they were selling $12 shares based on their projected market cap of this card. So in theory, somebody probably bought $10 shares and they climbed up to $12. And this one's up 33%. So once again, this Michael Jordan was sold as $10 shares originally. And then when the card sold for $134,000. But the big question here, obviously, is what went wrong, because it's a really cool idea. And everybody knows during the sports card bubble during the pandemic, when all these people who were used to betting on live sports moved into sports cards instead, the value and the market cap of sports cards just skyrocketed. Unfortunately, that's when a lot of companies started up, and Collectable was a casualty of just entering the market at a really bad time. Let's take a look. So this is cardladder.com, one of my favorite websites. Let's go to indexes, and let's just, for example, look at baseball. So here's the all-time baseball index. And if we look real close, you just see if they're starting the company in 2022, they're legitimately buying all these assets at the most expensive time possible. I've been a collector my whole life. I started collecting in 2002, 2003 basketball when I was 7 years old. I think that might be bad math, but it's something like that, 7 or 8. And I've been collecting ever since. So the cards that I was collecting back here, obviously, are worth way more. But since they started up here and just their values just fallen off, it just wasn't a good, viable business strategy. In theory, they would probably still be crushing it if they would have started the company in 2019, 2020, but launching just at the peak of sports card excitement is ultimately what I think did them in. So in hindsight, I don't know that the problem with Collectable was the idea behind the company. I think it's a really cool concept. I just think they started it at a really bad time. Started it during a bubble, the bubble burst, and people lost quite a bit of money by investing in Collectable. For sports card collectors like you and I, we've got to be real happy with it. Especially if we've been investing since before this point, since back in here, things seem to be stabilizing at a very healthy amount. So people say, oh, the sports card industry is in trouble. That's not really the case. It looks like things have stabilized at a very profitable, happy margin where we're not where we were during the bubble, but we're way better off than we were in 2019. So I think the moral of the story here is not to be down on the sports card industry as a whole, but to use the cautionary tale of Collectable as a testament to why investing time matters and why you should probably never be the last one in, because then unfortunately you'll be one of the first ones out. Thank you guys for everybody who has supported the Cardlines channel since the sports card bubble and beyond. We plan on being here for a long time, and because of people like you, we're going to continue to do so. Just be sure to hit that like and subscribe button so we can continue making these free videos for you. I appreciate you, and I'll see you next time.